And who is the new guy?
This is Red, best known as Dark Passenger. I assume you're familiar with Mia's work. Widely known as Lady Vengeance.
I'm Captain Angel Batista, Miami Metro PD.
Miami Metro Homicide, Lieutenant Quinn speaking.
Detective Claudette Wallace.
Please raise your hand if you have heard of the New York Ripper.
I'm not Ronald Schmidt. I'm Dexter Morgan, the Bay Harbor Butcher.
Midnight Movies, Dexter Resurrection, character tier ranking list, take 1. Hey guys, and welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to be ranking the Dexter Resurrection characters. Before I start, I just want to say thank you to YouTube for the YouTube clapperboard that you just saw. They were giving out a limited supply of these clapperboards, and I was one of the lucky ones to receive a clapperboard. It is part of their YouTube perks. Thank you so much, YouTube. Alright, now into the video. I'm going to be ranking the Dexter Resurrection characters. I have made my own character tier ranking grid right here. I have characters on the left side, and I have characters on the right side. So altogether, we have 30 characters that we're going to be ranking, and I think that's a good amount. I do want to say that I am only ranking characters that have appeared in 2 episodes or more, because if I was going to rank every character that appeared in every episode, then that would take so much longer. This is a good criteria, 2 episodes or more. And I know there's one character that might have you question, why are you ranking him or her? Because we never really saw that person, and you will see what I'm talking about when we get there. So as for my tier lists, I try to put a Dexter spin on it. Let's just fill in the blanks first, shall we? Okay, so first up we have A. I don't really like to do S, A, B, C, D, E, F, whatever. A is the top highest tier for me. And so for A, we're gonna do killer. So these are the best people. And when I say killer, I mean like awesome. Killer awesome. So killer for that, for the highest tier. The next best tier is staying alive. Staying alive, staying alive. I think that's pretty funny, if you ask me. So these are the next best people, you know. Maybe I could, there we go, staying alive. You're okay in my book. So the third category is when I was having trouble trying to think of something. So I just did mediocre. These aren't like the best, but these aren't the horrible list. You know what I mean? Could be better, could be a lot worse, but you know. Alright, and the next one after that is, I can't really think of anything, so I said vexing. Vexing is just another fancy word for annoying. They are just getting under my skin just a little bit here. And the last tier, this one is, you're going in the box. Going in the box. These are insufferable characters, very highly unlikable, and they deserve to go in the box because of their character traits. I know there are websites that do a randomizer, and I do like that, but I am using Adobe Premiere to screen record this and drag the pictures into the respective category. I think this works well for me. I like doing it like this. It's fun, and it's not what other people do usually, so this is my spin on it. I might just go left to right. Top column from the left side to the right side, and then work our way down. Okay, first up we have is Mildred. Mildred Brown, I believe that's her last name. Obviously, it's Charlie's mother who is sick. Prater is taking care of her. She did appear in a few episodes, mostly in bed. She didn't really have a whole lot going for her other than Charlie's taking care of her. Charlie did say it best that Prater was holding her life hostage, using it as a leverage so Prater could blackmail Charlie into doing all these things. And it was paying for her treatment. She got an extra 8 years in her life, so that's really good. But as a character, it almost seems like she was there as a plot device in a way. So she wasn't really amazing or horrible, so I think she's just gonna go in mediocre for now. Next up is Shauna, the grape victim. Almost grape victim. She was in the first episode, the second episode, maybe the third episode. I know she was seen twice. Again, I think she was just kind of like a plot device for Harrison to kill Ryan. So she didn't really do a whole lot, and she wasn't really annoying, so mediocre. I'm gonna place her in mediocre. I think that's respectable enough. Next up is Sam. I believe that's his name. He is Joy's husband. He wasn't like amazing character. I think he's just gonna be mediocre again. He does have a kombucha business and gave Harrison a freebie, so that was cool. That was pretty cool, right? But I think I'm just gonna stick him in mediocre. We didn't really have like a whole lot of time with him. And he wasn't really bad as a character, just not a whole lot of depth. Next up we have is Harrison's boss, Stefan. Stefan was pretty vexing, I will say that. He gave Harrison a really hard time. He's one of those bosses that says, if you're on time, you're late. Now that makes no sense to me. He's just a hard ass. So he's gonna go in vexing. I think that is a respectable category for him. Okay, so this is the one that you guys might be like, what? How are you ranking this character? He didn't even have an appearance. But the New York Ripper. Now his name was mentioned so many times. We've got an actual name for this killer, Don Framed. So we're getting a little bit more information for this undiscovered psycho. But I will have to say, like, this killer is pretty fascinating, to say the least. What he does, I mean, his kills are really grotesque and gory, which is what I like to see in my killers, fictional killers. But I'm gonna have to say he's staying alive, because he was, or her, he or she is pretty fucking killer. But if we had more time, more depth of who this person is, then he might be killer. And is that fucked up to say? So I think the New York Ripper is staying alive, and he really is still alive. He's out there somewhere. And if there is a season 2, I would love to see the New York Ripper unfold. If you're gonna do a New York Ripper storyline, the writers should bring in a whole bunch of new characters so we can figure out which one of these new batch of characters is the killer. Don't make it obvious. I think it would be cool if the killer reveal was him actually gutting someone in the fashion of the New York Ripper. Alright, up next is Teddy. He's a character from the original, no, he's a character from New Blood, the first season of the sequel series. He was okay, but again, I think he was just kind of mediocre for most of it. He was in a couple episodes talking to Batista. Okay, so on the left side, we have Miss Mia, Lady Vengeance, right? I loved Kristen Murder's performance so much. This was the first project that I have ever seen her in, and she did an outstanding job. I wanted more of her character because she just slayed. She fucking slayed the role. So she's gonna be killer. To me, she's fucking killer. Next up is Al. His character surprised me at the end because he managed to run away from Dexter and being a victim of the Bay Harbor Butcher. So he was smart in leaving. I do like his unique targets. He only goes after females with ponytails. What was his name? Like his killer name? Oh, Rapunzel. Rapunzel. I think I might stick him in Staying Alive. He was kind of like funny too. Alright, next up is Charlie Brown. Or Charlotte, that's her name. Charlotte was getting more interesting as the season was progressing into its final episodes. We saw a lot of emotion coming out of her instead of this cold face, right hand woman for Prater. It was really nice seeing her human emotion, and she was doing all of this for her mom. I think she is staying alive. She's cool. She's cool in my book. Next up is Lance. I think that's his name, Lance. This is Harrison's coworker. I liked Lance. He did kind of annoy me that one episode when Batista visited him and Lance confronted Harrison like, yo, why is this guy at my door? You need to answer these questions. Did you sell me a stolen truck? But other than that, Lance was pretty cool, so I think I'm gonna stick him in Staying Alive. Harrison made a lot of progress from the last season. So much more bearable this time around. If I was gonna rank his character from New Blood, it would probably be in Going in the Box or Vexing, but now the writers did his character good. He did not annoy me, except for maybe episode 1 when he killed Brian just like vehemently. He didn't really think about it, he just killed him. But after that, the character kind of grew on me. I will say that. Harrison grew on me. Very surprised. I was not expecting that. So I think Harrison is going to be in Staying Alive. I think that's a good category for him. So he basically jumped 2 to 3 categories. Next up is Prudence, Blessing's mother, who died. I believe she was in more than one episode, 2 episodes at least. She was at the dinner when Dexter first arrived, and then the episode when she fell on the steps. And she seemed like a very kind woman. She might have been a little stern. She helped Blessing get out of the country that they were from, came to the United States, New York, to have a better life. So I really appreciate that from her. And she wanted to die with her family surrounding her, so I think that's really respectable. Who doesn't want family members surrounding them during their final moments? So I'm gonna stick her in Staying Alive. But rest in peace, Prudence. I think you were a good mom. Next up we have is Elsa, another co-worker of Harrison. She wasn't really that annoying. I thought she was gonna be the new Deb in a way, where she would protect Harrison from something. And she kind of did in a way, but she blurted too much to Batista. She wasn't annoying though. And I did like her character, so I think I'll stick her in Staying Alive. Alright, so Vinny, the landlord, Elsa's landlord. Horrible person, horrible. He was getting people kicked out of their apartment, evicting them because he wouldn't do his job. They wouldn't pay rent. He wouldn't fix what was needed to be fixed. He was just an awful person. Very aggressive. He was very petulant and irate, angry all the time. So he has to go in the box. Sorry, Vinny. You might be the only one that's going in the box, but you deserve it. You evicted your tenants, which then got them killed. Some of them died. Okay, so next up is Dexter, of course. Star of the show. Dexter's killer. He will always be killer. I don't know if there was ever a season where Dexter annoyed me. Some of his lines can be cringy in the original series, I think. But this time around, he wasn't. I mean, he's always going to be killer. Michael C. Hall sells the performance. He's the star of the fucking show. So, obviously, he's going to be killer. Next up is Joy. I believe that's her name. Joy, who is Blessing's daughter, Sam's wife. I liked her. She was really nice and caring. I think I might have to stick her in. Oh, and she did help Dexter with the pain acupuncture. I might have to put her in killer. She was just a wonderful, nice person. I don't think there were any flaws that we've noticed yet. It's either killer or Staying Alive. I think I might stick her in. Yeah, I'm gonna have to stick her in killer. She was nice to Dexter, she was nice to Harrison. So yeah, I think that's fitting for Joy. Okay, next up is Red, the Uber driver killer, the dark passenger. I really liked this serial killer. He was very unique. An Uber driver killer. Never seen that in Dexter. I mean, most of these killers we haven't seen in Dexter, but this guy was really interesting at first. Initially, I thought he was targeting drivers that were immigrants that came from other countries. But then he revealed that the Uber drivers took away his father's business, and so that's why he was killing them. So I guess he was just killing Uber drivers in general. It doesn't matter what color you are, where you came from, if you're left-handed, right-handed. If you're an Uber driver, you're a target. He did get a little annoying when he was doing his little monologue on Dexter's kill table. I think he might be vexing, even though I did enjoy the killer as a character. But he did harm innocent people, so maybe he is vexing. I think I might just put him in vexing. You don't just kill Uber drivers because of your father's business. Went into the fucking shitter, I'm sorry. Alright, next up we have is Constance. Constance is another amazing character. I mean, Blessing's family is all around amazing. I have to put Constance probably next to her daughter, honestly. She seemed very sweet. She did a background check on Dexter, which was awesome. Was not expecting that. And Dexter seemed a little apprehensive when she said that, and I have to give her respect. So I'm gonna put her in killer with her daughter. Just because she was so nice and sweet, let this strange man into her home. I mean, that's a kind act from her. Next up is Detective Wallace, Claudette. I know a lot of people were kind of annoyed with her, especially when she kept listening to the same song over and over again, but I did not mind that at all. I thought it was just like maybe an inside joke or like a running gag or something. And I did like her performance. I liked the character. So I'm going to put her in Staying Alive, and I hope Miss Wallace catches the New York Ripper, because she deserves it. And she might, because she got that file at the end of the finale. Elsa's son, Dante, didn't really have a whole lot going on for this character, so I might just put him in mediocre. Harrison was a babysitter for a little bit, and he seemed nice. He did have a little asthma attack thanks to Vinny the landlord. But if we saw more of Dante, he might be in Staying Alive. Alright, next up is the man of the household that took in Dexter, Blessing. Blessing at first was nice. I liked that he was treating Dexter with respect. He allowed him to come into his home. But then he started having these little spurts of anger. And I know a lot of people were thinking that he was the New York Ripper potentially, but I never thought that. I mentioned it once, but I was being sarcastic. I was joking because Blessing kept getting angry. So, I mean, he had it rough, right? He had a rough childhood being a soldier. He ended up killing someone to protect his family, but his mother was able to relocate the family, get them to live in a better situation. But because of those little spurts, those little outbursts of anger that he had, I might have to put him in mediocre, even though at first I did like Blessing. I would put him in Staying Alive, but he just had these moments where I was just questioning him, so I'm gonna put him in mediocre. I'm sorry, Blessing. It kind of hurts me to put him right in this category, but Prater is next, the villain of the show. Even though I didn't really think of him as a villain, he's not like your typical villain. I love the actor, I love the performance, I love the charismatic character trait that he had. But at the same time, he does fall into the evil category because, you know, there are two types of evil: people who do evil stuff and people who see evil stuff being done and do nothing about it. Prater never really killed anyone until Batista, but he is still evil because he saw all of these acts, all of these horrible acts being done to innocent people, snuff film presentations. He did nothing. He was fascinated by it. So that's not good. But he also helped out the police force by giving them money, and I find that to be very admirable. I'm gonna put Mr. Prater, I think, in Staying Alive. I think that fits him well, even though he was kind of a killer himself. Gemini Gareth, Gemini twin. I'm gonna put them together. So Gemini, I don't know who this actor is, and I do want to see him in that one movie, Late Night with the Devil. I know he's in that movie. I'm not saying this to be disrespectful, but this guy looks like he could play Dracula very well. Do you guys see that? I'm not sure what his name is, but he looks like Dracula to me. That'd be cool to see him playing one of the most famous movie monsters of all time. I could see him playing him. Where do I put Gemini? I think I might have to put him in Staying Alive because he was kind of funny with his narcissism. Very egotistical, hoity-toity. Hoity-toity just means narcissistic, egotistical, selfish. All those words that makes the person think of themselves, essentially. He was FBI's most wanted, and Dexter took him out like that. So I'm gonna put Mr. Gareth and his brother. I don't know who his brother's name is. Is it Gareth as well? Or maybe one twin's name is Gareth and they just both went by Gareth, or maybe neither names are Gareth, but they just chose a name together to be Gareth. But Gemini Killer, I'm gonna put him in Staying Alive, I think, just because I love the reveal of the twin. I love the narcissistic trait that he had. It was just hilarious. So I'm gonna put him in Staying Alive. I think that's a good category for the twins. All right, next up is Vivian. I believe that's her name. This is Prater's organizer. She didn't really have a whole lot going on. I think she's just mediocre. She's another character that Prater hasn't, because Prater is giving, I think, her mother or son or someone in her family treatment. And so, again, Prater was kind of holding her family member hostage. The life was in his hands. As a character, she's just mediocre. She was very nice, though. Very nice. Next up is Detective Wallace's partner. His name is Melvin? Oliva, Melvin. I'm just gonna call him Melvin. And I think I might stick him in mediocre. Although, towards the end of the season, becoming a red herring for the New York Ripper, kind of became a suspect for the New York Ripper because of his sleeves. But I think that was just a red herring to make us think that he could be the New York Ripper. And I was hoping he was not the New York Ripper, because how many times can someone on the task force be evil? It's done and overplayed. So I'm happy that he hasn't been revealed as the New York Ripper yet, but he still could be, right? He still could be. But as a character, overall, he was just very mediocre. He did make me giggle, though, in episode 9, when Claudette was going through all of these departments in the city where they could use a man hook opener, and when she said Parks and Recreation, he's like, oh, that's my favorite show. That part made me laugh. Next up is Quinn, one of the OG characters. He appeared in 2 episodes and his voice was used in the last episode. He made a phone call to Batista. It was great seeing Quinn. It really was. I liked it. A little nostalgia bait, right? But overall, I think he was just mediocre. Not a whole lot going on for Quinn. It was still great seeing him. I just wanted more. Batista is next from the left. It was great seeing Batista. I love Batista in this season so much. I think I liked Batista's character a lot more in New Blood and this compared to his entire run in the original series, because he was trying to take down Dexter. And that's always like a fun storyline to see, when an old coworker is trying to take the main character of the show down, and it costs him his life. And it still hurts thinking about it. But I'm gonna put Angel in Killer, because I am still Team Batista, even though he lost his life trying to bring justice to everyone. R.I.P. Hermano, you are amazing. Alright, Gigi. I liked Gigi. I did like Gigi a lot. She's sarcastic. Same attitude as me, essentially. I think I might put her in Staying Alive as well. Yeah, I'm gonna put her in Staying Alive. And her line in the finale, hey asshole, call again. Harrison's mouth is full of me. I love that line. It was funny, hilarious, a little gross, but I loved it. Alright, next up is Harry. Really glad to see Harry again. I might put him in Staying Alive with the majority of the cast, or the characters. I really did like seeing Harry again as Dexter's hallucination, although I'm still wondering why Deb didn't make an appearance, because I did like Deb as Dexter's hallucination as well. But seeing Harry again was just, it was amazing. That role is made for Harry. And he was giving life advice Like, you need to think about Harrison before you do this, before you do that. All right, the last character we have is Chicky. This is Red's survival victim, also Blessing's best friend, an Uber driver. And we didn't really see him all that much. He was in a few episodes. I'm glad he's alive, but you're gonna have to go in mediocre. You're not annoying, you're not going in the box. You have a gnarly scar to tell your grandchildren or whoever you want to tell your survival story to. But he did make me laugh that one time when he was describing the incident, the encounter with the dark passenger, and he told Dexter, hey, he kind of looks like you. That was great. And Dexter's like, I don't wear a hoodie. I loved it. I loved that exchange. Alright guys, so this is my final ranking of all these characters from Dexter Resurrection. What do you guys think? Do you agree? Do you disagree? I will say this, I had only 4 categories at first, and most of them were in the category staying alive. Like, every single one of these characters right here were staying alive because they weren't vexing or like horrible. So I had to think of a middle category. These characters right here, I think that's respectable. Mia, I love Mia so much. I really wish that she had stayed alive. I really wish in that final episode that she was in, episode 6, there was some build up to her death, because we only saw her while she was a hanging corpse. But if she had some interactions with cellmates or someone visiting her, and we kept that momentum up until her death, it would have had more impact. It was so sad seeing her die. I just wish there was more to it than just us seeing her body hanging around. And I know it was that one cop that had killed her or faked her death. I saw that theory that the cop really just faked her death to get her out, but I don't think she's alive. I don't think that happened. That guy was a hire to kill Mia. Dexter, great character as always. He will always be killer. Then of course you have mother and daughter, very kind women. They treated Dexter with the utmost respect, and they were a great host to Dexter. And the last one, Angel. I'm gonna miss you, buddy. I'm really gonna miss you. And then all the other characters. You know, I'm still going back and forth with Red. Should he go in the box, or is he just vexing? I mean, what he did was horrible. Horrible. But I'm still fascinated with how he kills. I don't know. What do you guys think? Well, this is the end of the ranking video. Thank you again for watching my reactions to Dexter Resurrection. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know where you would place most of these characters. If they're the same, if they're different, I would love to hear your thoughts. Yeah, this was fun. I enjoy these rankings. I might do more Dexter rankings, like antagonists or side characters, or would these antagonists survive these slashers? I don't know. I'm gonna think outside the box and come up with something really cool and unique for another Dexter tier ranking. And thank you, YouTube, for gifting me the clapperboard. I will check you guys in the next video. Stay safe out there. Peace out, guys.